Hi there. It's the most fabulous day. Still quite cold, hence I'm wearing this for the time being. And I've got a hat on me as well. But I'm just going to get some sun for the time being as well, because it's just so glorious being out. There is a bit of wind as always. Not as much wind as the one was when I was in the Shetlands metal detecting. I don't know if I've released a bit of that video yet. My God, it was good fun. The most incredible island I've ever been to. If you get a chance, go. But anyway, meanwhile, I'm back on this field. I'm quite lucky, to be honest, still the maze is coming through, but it's easily detectable as long as I'm a bit careful. And fortunately, I brought my bloody pinpointer with me this time, because it was a bit of an effort last time. But we did find a load of Roman coins and brooches and stuff, so it was fabulous. And already today, I don't really care if I don't find anything today. I'm having such a nice time. I haven't been out for a while, and it's just lovely being out, quite frankly. That's secondary. This might not even make it to the movies, and if it does, it might just be a short one on the other channel. But meanwhile, I have found a Roman coin, a really nice one. I think it's Tetricus, which would make it sort of late 3rd century. They do come out quite well, these coins. It's a bit wonky. But, you know, you can easily, there's lots of T's and R's and I's on it. That's why I think it's Tetricus. So I'm pleased with that. And then this. Now, this isn't going to be find of the century, but it's the best sign you could possibly get. It's the catch to a Roman brooch. So I'm pleased with that. And then just down here, there is a signal. And it sounds like the other coin I had. So, sounds like a copper coin to me. As I said, it's a bit of a relief to have the pinpointer back. It's quite fun not using it for... It's in here. It's a tiny Roman coin. Gosh, I bet that's the smallest one I find today. But you can still see something on it. But there's definitely an emperor. This is very barbarous. I always go on about barbarous coins because I find so many. And I'll put the link to the video when I explain about them just below. And that's got to be barbarous because it's so badly done. Even though they are very charming, some of them. And then there's a sort of stick man who looks like... it looks upside down. It looks like Groot off those Guardians of the Galaxy films. But it's not. I think I've got it the right way up now and it's Winged Victory. That's lovely, so charming. Yeah, I've got an emperor facing left. I can clearly see it. But, well, brilliant. That's 2 coins now already. Fabulous. God, it's nice to be out. All is right when it's like this. Well, I can see it. I'll show you how it sounded. Even clearer now. But look at that. It's a nice big one. I mean, not super stupidly big. It's not a Sestertius or Dupondius, but it's a nice big copper coin. Now that looks to me like either Carausius or Electus, and it's an absolute stonker. Yep, I think it is. It's Electus. CTUS. They both are quite similar, Carausius and Electus, and they were both very similar in life as well. They were usurpers in, I think I'm right in saying 275 or something like that. Carausius, who was sort of governor of England at the time, or Britannia, declared himself co-emperor. Not long after that, his finance minister, Electus, this guy, killed him, and he too declared himself one of the sort of heads of the Roman Empire. It was a very confusing time. It was sort of the end of the crisis of the 3rd century. And they're very similar looking, and I used to find a lot of these coins when I was down in Hampshire. That was, I think, Electus's base, but I don't find so many up here. But that's a really beautiful coin, and the reverse is almost mint. It's fabulous. I don't know who it is. It's probably Fortuna or Letitia or someone like that. We'll soon find out, because it's such a beautiful coin. It's got so much information on it. Wow. I'm going to put my hat on in a minute. It's all getting too much. Well, that sounds very corny as well, but I do have something slightly different, which I've just found. Slightly different from all those Roman coins we're finding. That sounds quite nice, I've got to say, nice and punchy. Maybe a big coin. It doesn't sound silver yet. Do you know what? I've found silvered coins on this field. Do you know what? I hate to say it, that sounds like a cartridge to me, but cartridges sound like Roman coins, don't they? We all know that. So you've got to dig them. Well, that's quite interesting. I don't know what it is, but it's not a coin. It's bronze. It looks to be part of a brooch. Could that be Saxon? Or is it a buckle even? I don't know. I really like that. No, that is proper different. Proper different like. I just don't know. It's the end of something, isn't it? Well, we'll clean that up when we get home. We may even go back to headquarters with it, because that does look a bit different to everything else. That's lovely. Pleased with that. Don't know what it is though, but it's old and bronzy. And then this, which is also old and bronzy, well, old and coppery. Now I think that's a Roman pin. I think that's I don't know what sort of pin, a hairpin or something like that, and it probably would have been a lot bigger. But that's really cool. I love that. Both sounded like Roman coins, I've got to say. That one's a smaller one. Hooray! I mean, I love finding Roman coins more than anything, especially when they're in the condition that we're finding them today. I mean, oh my God. But finding a little bit different as well is cool. Well, let's whiz back with this. I think it might be worth it. Hi there and welcome to headquarters. Well, let's have a very quick look at these two things. My God, what a day for Roman coins, but we come back here a bit later and have a closer look at them, because I mean there was some really stunning ones that day. I mean, the soil conditions in that field, it's very sandy, and it's just so kind to coins. And I'm going to try and be quite quick because we come back here a couple of times. I don't want to run over too long. The pin we found, on closer inspection, it's very squared, very cubic, and you can see where it's been sort of chamfered on the edges of those squares, and it's been incredibly nicely finished off. Now, I'm not sure about these. Please tell me if you know. I put it on the detectinghub.co.uk. John, one of the founders, said that, you know, they're quite, I mean, they could be either Roman or Saxon. I've got a feeling that they're Saxon, these squarey ones with the sort of chamfered edges. I mean, that's not going to win any major beauty competitions, but it's just still a very lovely thing. And this, now, when I started cleaning this up, I noticed it's definitely got a sort of ferrous pin running through it. And then if you look on the side of it, you can see where that pin would have would have maybe continued. Now, does that mean it's the end of a knife or a dagger or sort of pommel of sorts? I'm not so sure, because if the pin runs through that side of it, and I'm not sure whether it would have how it would have continued to be in a symmetrical position. I mean, it looks like it would have just had a sort of lid of sorts on that side. Again, I put it on the detecting hub, and someone said that they thought it could be some sort of Roman mount. Well, if it's Roman, it's well in keeping with everything else. But again, if you can tell me more about this than I've found out already, then please do. And so, as I said, I'm going to keep it really short, because we come back here a couple more times, because it's just a really another fabulous day. So let's go back to the fields. There are so many signals at the moment that I'm not setting up each time, but and a lot of them are buttons and cartridges. But look at this one. Now, I think this is rather, yeah, look at this, gosh. Okay, it's the altar and the globe, which means it's likely to be one of the sons of Constantine, I think. So it's going to be Crispus or someone, but that is bonkersly beautiful. And here he is, and it is, who are you? Gosh, my eyes aren't as good as they once were. Is it Constans? I can see Ctans. Yeah, I think that's Constans. Looks like a boy, doesn't it? Very young. Is it Nob or Org? I don't know, can't see from here. But that's lovely. What a cracker. Beautiful. Well, my God, we are finding some nice coins today, and I think this might be another. I think that's another copper coin. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. And it's in here. And it is. It's another beauty. Now, we've just found one of the heirs of Constantine, probably Constans or Constantius or someone like that. But that brings the field to sort of mid-4th century. But we found Tetricus and Electus, and that brings it to 2nd century, late 2nd century. And now, finishing perfectly with the Tetricus Electus theme, I think this is Claudius Gothicus. A, it looks like him, and B, I can see a socket great Claudius around it. Now, I think he was 275 to 277, or 273 to 275, something like that. He wasn't around for very long, that's for sure. But my God, he got stuff done. And you get barbarous coins of his, but that's not barbarous. That's an absolute beauty. Another really lovely coin. I've only got my little small camera because I left the other ones miles away over there. So I've got this one, and I don't have a tripod for it, and it's a sort of wide angle GoPro-y one, so I've just got to prop it up like that. Save me from walking absolutely miles. Can you see me? You probably can't any longer. Anyway, that's fabulous. We've found some lovely coins today already. I'm really pleased. Gosh, the wind's really picked up. Hope you can hear me okay. I'm just sort of shielding from this side. And even though it's so sunny, I'm going to keep this on for the time being because it's cold. I'm slightly having to concentrate on the shallower bits in these furrows. There's a little bit of a nicer bit, then it goes up like that, and then it goes down again. So I'm sort of on the side here. It's a bit too punchy, that really. It's nice and high pitched, but it's too clean and high, and I think that's modern. It's going to be a tarp ring or something like that. Or one of those very copper cultures. My God, how does that make that sound? It's a denarius, I think. Let's listen to that. Okay, well, it makes a bit of sense now because it's silver. Wow, now this is, now I have found a Celtic coin in this field over there. A little tiny silver Celtic coin. Oh, I was thinking about silver when I was here last, but I haven't been thinking about it today. My God, well look, I'm absolutely thrilled. It's a tiny coin. I think it must be Roman. Hooray, it is. It's now, I think it might be Vespasian or someone. I don't want to scratch it too much. It's quite worn. The back of it, can't make out anything at all. But that's not from being bashed around. This is just a worn coin. And if it is Vespasian, then it's late 1st century, and with all the other stuff around here, which is much later than that, maybe it's just been in someone's pocket for a while and it's just been worn through use. But that's just lovely. My favourite things to find. Well, silver Celtic, of course, my first. But then Roman silver is just so special. And this is a lovely, lovely little proper silver denarius of very high silver content. You can just tell. I still haven't found my gold Roman coin yet, but that will come. That will come. Maybe it'll come today after that. God, brilliant, brilliant. Well, what another absolutely fabulous day for Roman coins. In the last video we found some really good coins, but I think apart from the Antoninus Pius, I think we found better ones overall in this one. And the best of them all was what we've just found, and it's a little Vespasian denarius. It's very worn. I can hardly make out what's going on the back. In fact, you know what? I can't make out what's going on the back. It's completely smooth. But there's a really good portrait, and you can't read an awful lot on it. I can see imp on one side, Caes, I think that's C-A-E-S, short for Caesar, and then I can see organ, and there's not much in between, but it looks like Vespasian, and he ruled for quite a long time, Vespasian. He was the first of the Flavian dynasty after the year of the 4 emperors, with disastrous, massive civil war after the death of Nero, culminating in Vespasian eventually coming in, I think, in 69. And he ruled for 10 years and was succeeded by his equally able son, Titus. And then his not so able second son, Domitian, but that's another story. Anyway, it's just a really lovely coin. Nothing beats Roman silver, apart from perhaps Roman gold. I haven't found any Roman gold yet, but it must happen soon. Well, it's fingers crossed anyway. And let's just have a very quick look, now I've cleaned them up, at some of these other coins. It is Electus. It's an absolutely fabulous Electus, and I think it's got Salus on the other side, or someone like that, a goddess with very little, with a very short name, because I can see Org on one side, and then I think her name must be on the other side. I'm not sure who she is. It's usually Letitia or someone like that. But that's just a lovely coin. That's mid to late 3rd century, in 275 was there or thereabouts. And then this one, I think it's a house of Constantine, Constantius, Constantine II, or Constans, one of the 3 sort of sons of Constantine, I think. I can see Cons, but I can see Constan, but I can't see much else. And it's the globe on the altar, on the reverse, and that's just a lovely coin, mid 4th century. Now, I don't know about this one. I haven't really got into it, but I think it might be Valens or someone like that, or Gratian. It looks to be a later one. He's wearing a diadem, and there's a lovely reverse on the other side, and I can see the mint very clearly is Sisk, S-I-S-C, which is Siskia in Croatia. So that's come quite a long way to end up in Britain, but that's just a really lovely coin. That tiny one, now I don't know who this is. Again, very similar to that one, but my God, that's small. And if you think that's small, I'll line these up in a minute so you can see. this tiny little minim, well, I can see Winged Victory on the reverse, and a really clear portrait of an emperor. It looks to have a cross. He's holding a sort of scepter or something with a cross, so that's maybe a sort of Christian symbol there. But I'll line these up for you in order. Well, here we go. The Antoninus of Electus, or the Follis of Electus, and then the Constantine ones in order, and this one right at the end. Look how tiny it is. I mean, it's millimeters, and yet you can still see detail on it. And then last but not least, once you sort of get the hang of Roman coins, you tend to see the portraits of the emperors. A lot of them do make more sense. I mean, they do look very, very similar, but certain ones really leap out. Electus and Carausius, they're really bull-headed with thick, sort of desperate Dan type chins. They wanted to sort of come across as being rather thuggish. But another one that's easily recognisable is Claudius Gothicus. He's rather pointy. He's got pointy nose, pointy beard, pointy chin. His brother Quintillus, who reigned after him, Claudius Gothicus was 260 to 270, very short reign, but he was a capable emperor and you know, got things done. I think Quintillus was only around, well, very briefly, maybe just a year or so after him. He looks very similar, sort of rather pointy nose, pointy beard, and this is definitely Claudius Gothicus. I can clearly see, as I said at the time, Claudio, whatever, Claude on one side, and on the other side is Salus, because I can see it, Salus Org, and that is the goddess Salus, and she's holding a scepter, and she's usually depicted feeding a snake coming out of an altar. Quite a fun image. So anyway, there are these coins, and another little one of Tetricus. So there they are. I mean, what a fabulous day. Anyway, we come back one more time, and it's worth it. That's punchy too. That might be tin can, but it's worth digging. We've done well on the punchy ones today. I think it's out, or just on the edge. It's a coin. This is unusual because it's a funny field, this. I mean, it's basically Roman and nothing else. But that's not Roman. That's a fabulous Georgian coin. Now, I found, like most of you probably, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these, but I've very rarely found one in this condition. George III Britannia on the other side. I mean, that is absolutely 1779, was it 1778 or 1773? Either way, I've never ever found a Georgian halfpenny in that condition like that. Wow, how funny. Well, he looks like a Roman emperor, quite honestly, on that coin. That's an absolute beauty. Well, I don't mind them coming out like that. I wish they would more often. More often than not, you can't see anything on them. They're completely blank. Look at the shield. Look at the shield of Britannia. Absolutely amazing. That'll take pride of place in my collection. That will. It's lovely. What a beauty. So I don't know why that. I mean, that's almost museum condition. It's like it's lost after it was made. I'm thrilled with that. Don't usually get excited about Georgian coins, but that's a bit different. Now, this is eyes only, but I am seriously excited about this because I don't think I have ever, definitely 100%, found a piece of worked flint. We all think we find bits. There are so many bits which look like they've been worked and napped and chipped and all the rest of it. But more often than not, when we get excited, people say, no, that's just done by the plough. This is 100% worked flint. Because you can see where they've been taking away the edges. You can see where the chalky outside of the flint, where they've started taking this away. So I might be the first person to have handled this, and I just don't know. I'm just not expert enough at it. Is it 10,000 years? Is it 40,000 years? Who knows? There are people on the detecting hub who are experts in stone. They'll tell me. I'll put it on that. But my God, I mean, I'm absolutely over the moon because I've seen bits and pieces, and I know roughly what some of them should look like. And quite often you get what's called a core, because what they do is which this might have been started at the start of, you get your flint, and instead of actually making a sort of spearhead or an arrowhead out of the flint, you're just chipping bits off it, and the bits that come off it are the bits that you actually then use to make tools with. But this, I mean, I will eat this if it turns out not to be what I think it is, and this has made my day. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just mind-boggling to think of the history of who's actually done that and how long ago. I just don't know. I'm not even gonna guess. I'm not even gonna guess, even though I have done already. What did I say? 10,000 years? I don't know. But that has made my day. That is one of the best things I've ever found, because, as I said, I think I am 100%. That is not plough damage. Nothing could have done that but man, in my opinion. As I said, you can see where the chalk, where the flint would have just completely been covered in the sort of the grey chalk like that, and someone's just gone and started chipping it. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe he was attacked by a mammoth or something and couldn't finish it off. Who knows? But just sorry to bang on so much about it. Well, let's go back to headquarters. We really have to with this. Sorry, it's not metallic and it's not jewellery or coins, but it is very, very old. Right, let's go. Well, oh my Lord. I mean, this to me was find of the day. I mean, like you lot, I found thousands of bits of flint, which to me, the untrained eye, looked like worked or napped flint. I mean, really, what looked like obvious spearheads, axes, all the rest of it. And they're not. More often than not, they're just the result of decades, centuries, millennia of being bashed around and chipped and smashed together. Produces all sorts of very good looking flints which look like tools but almost certainly aren't. But this, on the other hand, as I said, I would have eaten it happily had I been proved wrong. Even I could tell that this was something. And as I said, it's the first definite thing that I found which is from basically caveman times. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. I put it on the detectinghub.co.uk. I won't name them, but there's some really expert people on flints, which is brilliant, because they basically say, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not, because usually it isn't. But they agreed that this is Mesolithic, which is the Middle Stone Age. And I didn't know all this, I had to look it all up, but I'm now a bit wiser for it. It comes between the Paleolithic age and the Neolithic period. The Paleolithic was even more just chipped tools, I think, which would have been rather more obviously made to do a job of something, i.e. a spearhead or an axe. And the Neolithic was dominated mainly by much more polished, refined tools. This comes in the middle. Now, what is most associated with this age, which is about 8,000 to 10,000 BC, is what's called mesoliths, and this is a core from which mesoliths were created. They're very fine blades, very sharp, fine blades, and they would have been used for, I think, slicing, sewing, shaving, skinning, all sorts of things. And what you would have had is your core, and once you've got it into that sort of shape, you would have napped away at it, and what would have come off would have been very fine, sort of flinty blades. Now, why they stopped here, maybe it was the wrong shape or the wrong flint, or maybe he really was scared off by a saber-toothed tiger or something. Who knows? But 10,000 years ago, up to 10,000 years ago, a caveman would have been happily working this flint, and it is that. I find that just mind-boggling. I mean, it's just sort of gobsmacking. Now here, I'm not sure if this is what I think it is, but it looks like it. This would have been probably on something like that and it would have been that would have chipped off, and to start forming this sort of layer of the core. You can see where it's been worked there to the left, there to the right, and from this stage you can start getting the really fine stuff knocked out. Lord knows how they did it, but I mean that's what it is. So I mean, that's just completely wonderful. I mean, it's the most tactile thing, and as I say, just mind-boggling to think that this was held by someone that long ago. Come on, up. Anyhow, that's it from from headquarters for the time being, and let's go back to the fields. Go on then, where's it? Go on. Well, I thought it was this. Thought a crappy bronze coin. It's not, because that's a bit of flint. It's this. And that is a Roman coin, another one. And my God, look at that. Constantinople commemorative. And look at the condition, look at her helmet, look at the crest. So now on the back we'll have victory on the prow, almost certainly. Or perhaps not. What's this one? It's usually victory or the she-wolf, which means I've got no idea what that is. How funny. Okay, it's this way up. Yeah, look, it's the wolf. It's the wolf and Romulus and Remus. Sorry about that. And rather a lovely one. It's at the Triarmament TRP. And that's Roma, not Constantinople. And you can see there, ROMA for Roma. What a beauty. What a beauty. God, I'm thrilled with that. Well, I hope you can hear me. The wind's picked up. I'm a bit speechless after that bit of flint, and I'd really rather switched off. Come to a bit of the field where I don't usually come, and it's very, very quiet. I did find another sweet little Roman coin though. It's a tiny one in beautiful condition again. A House of Constantine. I probably won't even bother showing you too much of a close-up. I don't want to bore you with Roman coins, but that's very pretty. And then I think this must be a modern cufflink. It's silvered on one side and looks to have some sort of stone or something on the other. I can't think what else it would be. I don't think it's very old. And then this. I think we might end on this. It's been a bloody lovely day. I may be taking a bit of a holiday now, like I did last year. Can't do this all year round, this YouTube thing. It's just too much. Plus, it's the time of the year where there's not an awful lot happening. I'm very lucky to be on this in June, quite honestly. But we'll see. But that's a bit punchy. I mean, it might even be a cartridge. We're in a cartridgery area now. But at least it's a nice signal to end on. Oh, that's really horrible. It's going to be a tin can, I bet. We may have to end on something else if it's horrible. Watch this space. Well, no, it's not a tin can. It looks to be a bit silvered, actually. It might be nice. I don't know. It looks like a disc of sorts. No wonder it made such a noise. Look at that. Well, I don't know. Is that a brooch? It's definitely silvered, so someone's made a bit of a fuss on it, but it looks a bit like a sort of top. Is it a modern sort of... Let's just get this out. My feeling is that's not very old, but who knows? I think it's silvered copper. It's definitely silvered, isn't it? Definitely. And it looks to have a sort of... Gosh, it feels brand new. It's really annoying. It feels brand new, but that's not to say it is. I don't know. Quite like it, whatever. But we'll see. Thank you very much for watching. Such a fabulous day. And if this is a bit of a break, well, it's a lovely way to end for a month or so. And I might just go on holiday. We've actually got quite a lot to do at the moment, business-wise, fortunately. So, I'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching.